It's time to wrap this broadcast up with the Alderson's Awards West postgame show. For awards, trophies, t-shirts, and so much more, go to aldersons.net for their full catalog. Danny Bach alongside Tyler Hergert after one heck of a basketball game. But in the end, Federal Way hands Auburn Mountainview their first loss of the season, a 57-56 win over the Lions of Auburn Mountainview. Saxon Niles the winning bucket in the closing seconds of the game. Tyler Hergert, this turned out to be one incredible basketball game with so much at stake.
Yeah, this is just two teams that, it's like I said before, I wouldn't be surprised if they end up playing each other a third time. You know, Federal Way to get the win on the road. I mean, they saw Auburn Mountainview come into their house and get the victory on the road as well, and they wanted to put an end to that and get the win as well. But, man, that was just some outstanding stuff, and I hope they end up playing again. Selfishly, I want to see these two teams go at it again. They're just they're both fun to watch. So many great athletes out on the floor. So many heads-up plays. So many smart plays, and I think it truly ended up coming down to those free throws that Federal Way were able to convert off of offensive rebounds. I mean, that ends up proving to be the difference down the stretch. You might not make one, it might not show up right away, but at the end of these kinds of games, it comes down to either a made free throw or a missed free throw where you end up getting that extra basket rather than it being, 56-55 Auburn Mountainview. It ends up being 57-56 Federal Way.
And what was impressive for Federal Way throughout the course of this game, Auburn Mountainview led for all but 3 seconds of the second half.
Yeah.
But it was the most important 3 seconds that Federal Way closed out with the lead.
And they did it on defense too, right? Posey wasn't able to score a ton in the fourth quarter. Arias never got going all night long. And, Luwak, he was the other player that they weren't able, he had explosive plays, but he wasn't able to score like he can. So I think that's where they won the game. They won it on the defensive side of the floor and with those offensive rebounds for Federal Way. But, I mean, these are two teams that, I wouldn't be surprised if both of them end up making it to state.
It wouldn't be a surprise at all. Auburn Mountain View has only made it into the tournament twice in their history, to the Tacoma Dome only once. Federal Way, no strangers to playing in the state tournament, 27 appearances, including 3 state championships, most recently in 2015 and 2016. Let's take a look at the scores for today's contest. For Auburn Mountain View, how about 26 points from Colvin Posey? He was lighting it up from 3, making 6 of them in the contest.
Yeah, that's, man, anytime you're draining 6 threes, you've got it going on, and it's your night when that happens.
Colvin Posey finishes with 26 points, which are surprisingly 9 short of his season high, which came in a win against Kent Lake. Other scores, Sebastian Arias, a quiet night, 11 points, 3 made triples. Sudan Luwak with 5 points, Lucas McClendon with 4. Cody Binion made a free throw. Becca Jones with 9 points to close out for Auburn Mountain View. For Federal Way in the win, Marcel Jones finishes with 9 points, 10 for Angelo Williams. Eric Turner had 3 free throw attempts. He made all 3, being his only scoring of the night. Braden McVeigh had 8 points. Jacob Herskin with 2. Justin Calcote with 2 points made. But it's time to name our game MVP in tonight's broadcast. It's brought to you by EliSportsNetwork.com for our latest in high school sports, with coverage of the Kraken, high school sports, the Mariners, everything in between. EliSportsNetwork.com is the place to go. Well, when you have the game-winning bucket with 3 seconds to go and you have taken control of the entire game, no surprise that you go with your post player as the MVP.
Yeah, Saxon Niles, it's hard to look away from him, especially with the way how he played on both ends of the floor too, right? It wasn't just on the offensive end. He made some pretty big defensive plays too and was a stud on both ends of the floor as expected, and he's really rounding into a key player that Federal Way is building around, and that's not the last time we're going to be saying Saxon Niles had himself a big night.
It won't be a surprise to see the senior having another explosive evening for Federal Way. But that's all the time that we have for tonight's broadcast. A special thank you to everyone who makes this broadcast possible, and a special thank you for Auburn Mountain View's athletic director, Chris Carr, for opening up the doors to let us be a part of their evening. But also a thanks to you for letting us join you this evening from Auburn Mountain View. For Tyler Hergert, I'm Danny DeBach saying so long and take care, and thanks for letting us be a part of your evening. Your final score, Federal Way 57, Auburn Mountain View 56. We'll see you next time on the Eli Sports Network.